I have started reading Mendelson, and so far so good. I read all of chapter 1. I had already started a couple of weeks back, but I did not show this because it was just a couple of pages. But I've read all of chapter 1 and some appendices. And this dotted line here really is section 5.7, which is where Mendelson discusses point set topology. And since I'm breaking up the content that I'm working on right now for the Baby Rudin Project into the part of number systems that does not include topology, is chapter 1 of Baby Rudin, and the part that does, which is chapter 2 of Baby Rudin, I see this as a natural line for a lot of material that I want to cover in the book. So what's the book like so far? I really like it. It's got a setup that is perfect for self-learning. So yeah, it's Mendelson, number systems, and the foundations of analysis. And I'll go briefly through the table of contents, since this is going to be the first video in the playlist for this book. So it's got a long set of little sections in chapter 1. They're really little. Some of the sections, if you've had this material before, which you may have, are literally like a couple of minutes to read. Let me zoom in like here, and I'll probably forget to zoom out, but I'll try to remember. So then it really is just chapter 1 of Baby Rudin, but turned into a 350-page book. That's basically what it is, with a little more content. It does have some things from number theory, integers and natural numbers. There's a lot of number theory in here. And it does have some of what would be considered baby abstract algebra. It's got rings. But other than that, it really is a great complement to Baby Rudin's chapter 1. I feel like it's a little more than I need, or perhaps a lot more, but I always like more. So some of the basics in the beginning of the book that I read in chapter 1, and I've done a few problems, not too many, remind me a lot of the great book that I already have a playlist for in my channel, which is Book of Proof by Richard Hammack. I mean, this book is fantastic, really. I still keep it by my side when I work on problems because, for example, I was going through relations, reflexive, symmetric, transitive, and I was also going through surjective, not surjective, injective, not injective, and then of course bijective, which is both surjective and injective. And this diagram in Hammack is the best, so good. So, but again, the reason why I'm showing Hammack in here in this particular video is because the early parts of this book remind me a lot of material that I did in Hammack. I don't mind repeating the material, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time working on some of these problems since I've already done them elsewhere. But I have a thing for completing a book, and I really do want to complete this book. The material that I'm really going to get the most of for following Baby Rudin's chapter 1 is really going to be later. So I think I'm going to try to read through natural numbers and integers fairly quickly. And then get to the nitty-gritty, which is really chapters 4 and 5, especially chapter 5. And that's the book. So if I show the progress, of course, these were really tiny sections. That's why so much was completed in a single day. And then I did a couple of appendices. I'm keeping these notes in a notebook that they don't belong in because I'm doing multiple books for Baby Rudin, and I still think that's a good idea. It's working out so far. So, and the day it doesn't, I'll stop doing some books and continue, but I'm still happy with doing multiple books for Baby Rudin. So yeah, these are just notes for chapter 1, and yeah, I mean, it's material that I have already done elsewhere. But I don't mind, after 2 years of having done this material, or a year and a half, to go over it again. It's something that I plan to actually do later on, which is go back and redo some material, refresh in my mind. I don't think there's a way for most people. I know definitely there's not a way for me, especially as an old guy, to remember everything I have ever learned in math. And so I think it's nice to be able to recall some things. And that's actually already happened in some material that I'm covering for another book, and I'll make a video about that maybe next week, the week after. So that is Mendelson.